It's Thursday night. All ye critters, come join us. It's time to continue our lives. There is magic and mystery from darkness. Our friendship will rise. But one thing's for sure, we never give up on the fight. Oh, get ready. It's Thursday night.
Last we left off. Bell's Hells, after losing their friend Laudna in battle, absconded through Keyleth's help, your leader of Zephyra, to the city of Whitestone, where, upon asking for aid and bringing her back, discovered that she was being held somewhere by the spirit of Delilah. You went into this odd, undefined dark space, battled with the shades that took the form of memories and traumas, eventually facing the shade of Delilah Briarwood as Laudna's spirit was held within this shadow form of the sun tree. You battled and seemed to destroy this tree and separate Laudna from this prison state. You all were pulled out of this, and the ritual was completed in which Laudna was returned to life. After which you finished an evening in the town of Whitestone, said your goodbyes, and then pulling in a favor that wasn't quite taken in, offered by Eshtaros previously to get you to Whitestone, you returned via the Sun Tree once more to Drusar. Upon situating yourselves there, you grew nervous after sending messages to Eshtaros to no response, upon which, with the help of the now living and independent-ish,
living. Question mark?
Ish?
Living ass?
Not you, I'm talking about Pate.
Oh.
Right. Okay.
Ouch.
Now your old friend. Pate and Chetney together delved into a silent and seemingly battle-destroyed interior of the Eshtaros estate. Upon searching through, seeing all manner of his traps sprung and gashing and destroying the furniture and walls around, you eventually found, unfortunately, the cold body of Lord Eric's Eshtaros. There, where he lay, reaching with his final breath towards something beneath the bed, you found a locked chest that contained a number of letters that seemed to be labeled to a number of individuals around the city, one of which was labeled as Bell's Hells. He bequeathed to you the ship, the Silver Sun, as well as his handy cane weapon. But grabbing up these letters and then stealthily sneaking out of the house, you return to the rest of Bell's Hells, let them know that looks like some conversation needs to happen about a terrible loss and the growing danger of who you think may have been responsible for this death. As you all, in the setting sun and the coming night of Drusar, head towards the Spire by Fire, you quickly settle within the interior, and I assume you're getting rooms for the night?
How are we going to tell people? How do we let them know without making it seem like it's our fault?
We have the letters. We do it one at a time. We start with people we trust. If we have those letters, they'll explain what, especially to people who knew him, it's not like this was a fucking surprise.
Well, he's told us who he trusts. We got letters too, so we start with them. He really trusted Mistress Sashari.
Huh.
I think we start with her. I think we give her all the letters. He trusted her implicitly, so I trust her to get them to who they need to, and we keep our time in town short and get ourselves out of danger and stop endangering folks in town.
And
we got him killed.
No, he didn't. Don't you dare. He knew this was coming. I mean, fuck, I was thinking about it, weren't you? The minute that happened, they were gonna instantly trace it to him. He knew that. Look at that house.
Yeah, it says, my fate has finally caught up to me.
did violent things, some he still deeply regrets. I mean, it's connected with us, but might not have entirely been just us.
She read Orm's mind. Am I right? That's how she knew.
Imogen's right. I mean, we got our friend killed too. And back. But the stuff that we're getting into is really, really dangerous and scary stuff. I guess if we're gonna keep going, we gotta be prepared for more stuff like this to happen.
Yeah.
We never even got any of his baked goods recipes.
Oh, no, that's not true. Actually, he left one in the will, the maple ginger cookies, very detailed.
Those are my favorites.
His legacy.
That letter. We're the fucking legacy. We are not what fucking killed that man. We are the thing he set in motion to make sure it mattered as little as possible. We are his eventual victory. We are his fucking revenge. We are all these things. We are not the cause.
I'll be his revenge.
I have no fucking doubt.
Well, we're going to be carrying that weight for a long time with his loss, but I know that he wants us to keep going. He had a target on his back already. We have one on ours. Nothing's going to change that. We keep moving forward. Take us a little time in town getting affairs in order. And then we get to it.
Should I send a message to Mistress Shashadri?
Yeah.
All right. I will send her something.
Okay.
Lord Esteros has fallen. We arrived in town to find his house in shambles. As of now, his body is still there. We have documents for you.
Her voice creeps into your mind in response. This is very dire news. But I appreciate you and your forthrightness. Let us meet at a place of your choosing.
We're at the Spire by Fire, room 69.
Very well. Give me some time. I'll find my way there shortly.
She's on her way?
I'm gonna go get some drinks, because I am tired and everything hurts.
I'll send a quick message to Evelyn. Hi, Evelyn. It's Bell's Hells. Something terrible has happened to Esteros. Do not return to the house. You in danger, girl. Just stay safe. And you can reply to this message.
I understand. Thank you for letting me know. Oh no. Stay safe. I hope he's all right.
Oh, no, she doesn't know. That's like the worst. That's even worse.
Lana. How you doing?
I'm all right. Thanks to you all. I don't know how I can ever repay my debt and express my gratitude to all of you for what you've done.
There's no debt. None.
They called you Matilda?
That was a little, yeah, but would have walked into that one a little more gently, but here we are.
I was Matilda. Matilda Bradbury.
Matilda Bradbury.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're Laudna.
Yes. Kind of forgot who I was being alone for so long. Running from town to town, just being called many horrible things.
What would you like us to call you?
Laudna's fine.
I like Laudna.
How about Loudna?
Laudna. I'm not sure where this got crossed, because you didn't call me Laudna, or Loudna, for a little time.
It's a funny way you're hitting the T, like you're treating the D like a T. I'm
No,
not
it's
sure why
just
you're doing
Laudna.
Laudna, yeah.
Laudna. There, he's got it now.
I just used to sing to myself and sing to Pate and think all the la-la-las that I used to do alone just kind of slowly turned into Laudna.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Can you hear her at all anymore?
Yeah, it's like a day later.
Not even, I don't think.
Yeah.
Can I hear anything, sense anything, feel anything? I need to know and desperately need to know.
I need to know. But
You don't hear anything, but you didn't. It wasn't like there was a, the sound of a Delilah engine running in the background quietly, but you don't hear anything.
You still have your abilities, right?
Do I?
I don't know. Do you?
Here,
Oh.
hit me with something. I mean, gentle, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
hit him
Take
with
it.
something. It's the only way to know for sure.
But what if it brings her back? What if every time I try to use what she gave me, it just makes her stronger again?
Oh, that's a good
Well,
point.
just give me some warning before you hit me with anything.
Just do it. Just fucking not.
I try to make the tiniest sparks of an eldritch blast.
As you concentrate and hold your fingers in front of you and just kind of zone out a moment, just sensing that familiar feeling of power kind of coursing through your arms, you watch as that faint spark of energy begins to gather between your palms once more, just kind of.
What do I feel?
You feel what you're used to feeling. The presence of power, the presence of woven arcana, your will made manifest through the various threads of the elements and the tethers of the world as you know and feel them in your blood and bones.
Ashton,
Yeah?
catch.
Strikes you in the head and you kind of lean back in an arch.
And I take a shot. That felt good.
Did you have powers before her, right?
I was born with magical abilities. That's why my parents tried to usher me into a new life. I thought maybe if they harnessed and nurtured that maybe I could, it could be my path into a more comfortable future. That's why they were so eager to shove me out the door to the palace.
Well, that's great then. You know who you are. You're the same as you were, but
Anybody mind opening the door a little bit? We're here on behalf of Mistress Shashadri.
I open the door just enough for them to peek in, but I'm using my boot to still hold it closed.
Okay. The door opens and you see looming like at the top of it, the outer half-orc form of Gus in the coat, and then Olly lower below, kind of looking through. Oh, perfect. Yeah, been a little bit. Don't mean to alarm you at all. Just going through the motions that is required and been put before us, as we've been in the middle of the night, now assigned the investigation of the murder of our Lord Eric Esteros. We have an escort of armed soldiers on the outside of the Spire by Fire. We don't want to make a scene, so we just came in ourselves. But just no funny business, or this will turn into a scene. We just need to bring you for some questioning at the scene of the crime. Shishedri will meet you there, as per the conversation I guess you had. But understand, you are very much the number one possible culprits, ain't that right?
No, it's true. Look, we're just trying to make this work out best we can for you. You seem like nice fellas. I don't see much of a reason as to why this went down the way it, might have if you were the murderers. So we're just trying our best to clear your names, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, you don't mind taking a walk with us?
We're having a bit of a day. Can you just say something that would to prove to us that you actually are who you say you are?
How's your ex doing? Oh, I took your accent.
Can you give us just 1 second? We're not going anywhere. We just have to collect our shit really quickly. It's been a weird night. I'm sure you can understand. Thank you. 1 second.
We'll be right here.
The door.
Yeah, it's actually a good thing. I mean, we have an armored escort through the city.
We have an armored escort of people that we don't know. We don't know what they want. We only honestly know 2 of those people. So it's just, let's keep on our fucking
We know Shishadre. She's trusted by Esteros, and these 2 were trustworthy as well.
Let's just be really careful.
The letter to Shishadra, is it sealed?
It is sealed.
Chisel. Objections?
No.
Yes. I don't think he'd want you to do that.
He said,
spoke
open it
highly.
up. Open it. Take the letter out. What does it say?
Looking it over, it is a letter to Shishadri that speaks on a couple of his last jobs as a mercenary. He's recalling the work that he's done for her, the goodwill that they've had, and his...
I'll stop there.
Seem all right?
Seems like it. He seems to be reminiscing about their past.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Yeah, I'll put it back in the letter.
I cast mending to mend the seal back together.
Finally, that spell can do something.
Yeah?
Mail fraud.
Yes.
Guess we're gonna fucking go with this. It's not like we got a fucking choice. Let's just be careful. I'm grabbing the bottle and I'm gonna open the door if everybody's eye contact.
All right, let's go.
Get on with this so we can
open the door. Both of them are kind of sitting out there with their arms in their coat sleeves kind of turned. Okay, great. So yeah, come with us. If we can get this done quickly enough, we can continue on with our night, hopefully without issue. Shall we?
I think we shall. Come on, everybody.
And they kind of like open a space for you to walk between them, so they can go ahead and kind of flank you through the hallway to the exit of the Spire by Fire.
Yeah, it just should be said that the people that we think actually did commit the crime are very powerful. And would have no problem attacking all of us where we stand if we go to his house.
to the point, and I cannot believe I am saying this to you. If you see anything suspicious, please say something immediately because we're feeling very unsafe right now.
As you head down, you can see there's some people in the front tavern portion of the Spire by Fire kind of glancing out the opening door, just kind of asking around questions, especially as you all kind of parade down. As best as not making a scene, as you exit, you can see there are 6 armored wilders right at the ready. And they kind of like fan out and become parts of the kind of surrounding guard to escort you through the street. You are then guided back to the familiar neighborhood of the somewhat affluent portion of this Core Spire region where Lord Esteros' estate resides. You were here not long ago, and as you approach, you can see the front door is open. It looks to be about 4 individuals kind of standing guard out front, also wilders. As soon as you begin to approach, you can see already there's a few individuals on the inside conversing. As you begin to get closer. The wilders that are stationed there kind of acknowledge, and one of them whispers into the door. A short time later, you see a cloaked figure step out. As she pulls the cloak back, you see the familiar face of Mistress Alana Shashadri. Kind of glances out towards the rest of you. Thank you so much for meeting, and my apologies for these necessary circumstances. I want to get this taken care of as soon as possible, and either send you on your way or send you on your way. But as much as it is useful to engage and converse with you with what truth you may know or truth you wish to put forward, there are better means to get to the root of this. At which moment you kind of see her step aside, and inside the chamber, 2 guard individuals have brought the body of Eshtaros down into the foyer, and they've set it onto the ground. A third figure, who's standing within them, kind of leans forward and begins to inspect the body. You are welcome to be present, or you can stay outside. The choice is yours.
I'm fine.
Wait, are you gonna do something with him?
I'm not going to. She is. And she points, and you can see the figure now leaning down, himself wearing a dark black, like ruffled, thick hooded cloak over the shoulders. You see this pale, almost pearlescent skin. It is so like powder white. The hair is almost like a silver gray that kind of falls back and then kind of tumbles and gathers in the back of the hood. There is something human, but more so mystical about this figure, but also like a creepy doll in energy and just immediate visage. As she leans forward, you can see she's reaching into a small pouch and is like pulling out black ash across her fingers and is like drawing lines across the exposed skin of Eshtaros's face and shoulders across. She's pulled back the cloak or his jacket a bit and looks to be muttering something beneath her breath as she stops and glances over and just kind of turns to the rest of your group. Oh, are these them? Are these the ones that might have done it?
No. We did not.
But it's us.
I've heard that before, but we'll find out, won't we?
Don't do this to him. Don't do this to him.
It's all done with respect. This is my job.
With respect? Just lying on the pavement like this?
You can see now she pulls from a cloak beneath what looks to be a pendant. It looks like a golden beaked skull. A familiar pendant that you've seen worn by members of the Paragon's Call.
Are you with Paragon's Call?
I am not. I am one of the Dust Maven. As she leans down and begins muttering, Shashadri kind of leans over in your direction. This is the grave mystic Weva Vudon. She is a very useful talent when it comes to dealing with the unexpected demise of important individuals. Her hand out in front, the mouth turns into a smile, showing just the faint bit of shift of musculature in the face. As she turns her hand over and then tenses her fingers and lifts. As she does, the chest of Eshtaros lifts up a bit, and the head lifts up with it as well. The eyes open, bloodshot, and you can see the coagulation of the blood around the bottom of the eyes, but the jaw hangs open. She was, "When did you die?" And you hear the crackling sound of air pushing against dried vocal cords. Not but a day before. How did you die? I was killed by the legend. And who was this legend who was responsible for your death? The legend of the peaks. Otohan. These strangers, and she takes her hand like this, and then as she twists her arm, the body like twists to turn and face this kind of awful, kind of haphazard puppet-like movement in your direction as you see now the corpse of Eshtaros facing towards you. Were they responsible and involved in your demise? No.
Told you.
Twists him back. Do you have any final requests? The chest takes one big inhale of foreign air into its no longer warm cavity. To be interred next to Mistress Brudash in the Lucent Memorial Mausoleum. With the final gasp of air escaping, the body goes limp back to the ground. She stands up and kind of like shakes off the remaining ash, smiles and turns back to Shishadri. Well, I feel satisfied. What do you all think?
I lean down and close his eyes.
Oh, by all means.
That was fucking gross.
Thank you.
Well, that was pretty
Emotionally,
neat.
not physically.
What will happen with him now?
Well, I don't know. Turns to Shishadri. Well, we have heard his final request, so we will make sure that it is taken care of. And thank you for your forthrightness. I apologize for the necessary steps. Gus,
Careful.
Olly, you have been absolved of your necessary attentions towards this group, this Bell's Hells, I believe. Instead, you are to look into the whereabouts of one Otohan Thul. And both of the Greenseekers kind of look at each other.
All due respect, we, it's a bit out of our pay grade and personal experience. My apologies. Somebody else's murder, somebody else's attached, send us your way, but we're not bounty hunters.
Shishadri kind of nods. Well, you've been spoken of well by a lot of Esteros as skilled and competent individuals. You hunted down Trinci. Would you also be interested and capable in hunting down the one responsible for your friend's demise?
Well, we're not bounty hunters per se, but I don't think I'm overstepping for the group to say that we're very interested.
Well, let's consider this our second contract then.
Wait, do we know the legends of the peaks?
Yeah.
Peaks of Jusa.
Is it having to do with the war? It had to have been.
Indeed, during the Apex War, which is where Otahan established herself. She was known as the Legend of the Peaks because of her involvement with the Highlands, with the apex city known as Thruargus. It's the home of the Stratos throne. The mountain range that it resides is known as the Coven Peaks, and so she was known as the Legend of the Peaks, based on the many deeds and many great, in some perspectives, atrocities it committed during the war.
She's a nightmare.
Does the Stratus throne exist anymore?
It does.
Oh,
It does.
Who sits on it? Where is? I mean, that's where it is.
You would know this, Imogen. The Saros throne is essentially the rulership over the Talent Highlands. Your hometown of Jolan. It's called the Stratos throne, but it's not a singular individual. It's a smaller council now. I will work with the Greenseekers to put together the report to the rest of the individuals who are affiliated with the quorum, so they will be notified of this, and you will be, for the time being, unless any other circumstances arise, absolved of my and everyone else's mistrust.
We appreciate it. Mistress Shashadri, in addition to figuring out how to find Thule, we have some affairs we need to get in order before we can do that. We brought letters.
I'm right here.
And letters for you and others. We're a little concerned for Lord Eshteros's caretaker, Evelyn. And we own an airship, sort of, now.
He left us something in his documents he left behind.
Let me see this.
Yeah, fine. I produced the page.
Oh no.
I produced the page.
Chetney's dying.
Well, that is quite a gift. But I suppose it is right if you are indeed to be going after the one responsible for his death. If you would like, I could go ahead and speak to my associates and have this approved by the morning and ready for pickup when you need.
That would be great. All right. I hand over all except hers. I say, I opened yours, but only because you had us arrested, and I don't really know you that well.
Looks over the letter.
I mended it so well.
It does not appear to have been opened.
Yeah, well, we got tricks.
See a little smile creep across her face. I can see why he trusted you. Takes the letters and kind of puts them into the same pocket of her cloak. Pulls the hood up a bit.
You can just do that? You can just get a letter and not open it and read it immediately? The curiosity isn't just, like, killing you?
No, I've read many letters in my lifetime.
I understand.
The grave mystic Wróbel comes through the doorway next to Miss Shashadri and goes, he's ready for moving, and I can speak with the mausoleum for preparations if you'd like, based on his wishes.
DM, her HP and levels are like off the charts, right? Compared to me, if I'm reading her as Battlemaster.
Crazy pearl.
Of
using my
Wróbel?
Mystic?
Yeah.
Definitely higher than yours.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And at which point she looks over and glances at Laudna and goes,
Hello.
"You're cold."
Is she cold? I was going to ask.
She is not cold. She is warm.
Yes.
Interesting. I like you.
I'm just feeling a little strange at the moment.
Yes, you look like you've had a brush with something recently. A bit darker on the edges. A bit withered. I know this. Ooh, welcome back.
Oh, shit.
And she starts walking away.
Wait.
Actually, before we leave,
Yes.
wander over to Eshtaros and kneel down and Druid craft a single black violet and tuck it into the lapel of his jacket. Thank you, sir. We are in your debt. Trust me. We'll follow this through to the last breath. That's his chest. Rejoins the others.
Shashad returns. Well, the paperwork should be completed by now. You would go to the Ares Skyport.
Great. Thank you.
I'm gonna check his pockets.
You all watch as Fern gets on the ground and looks like she's kind of hugging the body, but is very overtly rifling through the pockets of his coat.
Fern.
That's what he would have wanted.
You know, I was thinking maybe we could go check out his spice rack and get some of that ginger.
What are we doing? What's the plan, eh?
Go to the kitchen,
Yeah,
look at the spice rack,
yeah.
get the one labeled ginger.
Got it.
Are we going to sit and swell?
Sure.
So this way.
So heading to the Smolder Spire, to the familiar interior of the Sit and Swill. You have an evening. What would you like to do?
Talk in the morning, or do we
Yeah,
talk
go
now?
to sleep.
Okay. Well, you've had a few exhausting days, but you're still a little wired, and it takes you a little time. You'll end up staying up pretty late in your independent rooms to eventually find rest. You'd probably wake up a little later in the morning. Tavern is yours. The day is yours. What would you like to do?
Chat, when you brought Ashtaros's weapon out, it had a smell to it. It's a toxin. Some sort of poison that Thule or her people use. Make sure that once you kill somebody, they stay dead. No take-backs. I know that because the people that I lost, it was in them. So I'll probably bring it up. I don't know, I just kind of choked, but I'll bring it up when we see him this morning. I don't know if they were going to make an attempt, but it's not going to work.
I was wondering why we were able to do that for Laudna and not your family.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it too, and I gotta imagine, we just kind of ran into her. But what happened in my home was orchestrated, planned. And clearly so was Ashtaros's killing, so it's just one more tool in their arsenal.
I'll identify the blood.
There is no magic to it. But it's not anything you've encountered of the natural world either in your memory banks, whatever you want to call it.
So it's either otherworldly or pre-time.
The focus of the Identify spell is on turmoil itself, and this silver cane, it acts as a standard magical club when wielded as a cane.
Okay.
But when the wielder gives the command word, which is done,
Pearl.
and wills it, the cane extends and the head transforms into a massive silver scythe blade.
That is cool.
So, here we are. Mid to late morning here in Drusar. What are you doing, Bell's Hells?
Going to a sky
To the
ship.
Yeah,
sky
we're
ship.
heading to the sky ship.
All right, so you all go ahead.
Skyport.
Great. So that is a 2-trip gondola ride at 1 silver
God, you're
each.
still
That is
doing that?
14 silver.
14 silver, I got this.
Okay.
I got this.
Thanks, Ashton.
However, climbing via the gondola to the airy spire, kind of taking in the series of events that have transpired recently, the intensity and intention that you carry, you eventually climb here to the highest point, looking back over the mostly now revealed jungles below, and sure enough, there it is, the Silver Sun, the familiar sky ship that you had spent quite some time on, still locked into port. It looks like some of the minor impacts and, scars of recent conflict and weather are mostly still there, other than the broken mast elements that hold the sails have been repaired, and it looks like one of the sails is being affixed to it at the moment. So it's not completely repaired, it's in process, but it's still functional. It looks like it's airworthy.
Okay.
You approach the edge of the Silver Sun, the stairs that ascend to the deck of the ship. There you are immediately greeted with the familiar face of First Mate Khalil Benes, who turns around, his glasses kind of wide over his unwavering smile, kind of glancing towards the rest of you.
Oh, but it has been quite only a few days and you've already returned. I've been notified that apparently there is a changing of ownership. So that's interesting and new.
Yeah, we're changing the world one skyship at a time.
I'll retrieve the captain. Darts off and heads below deck. The gray blue skin now peers out into the open sunlight as you see the familiar bald horned head of Xandis approaching from below deck. Goes, Oh, well, hello. Welcome back to the ship that you apparently own, I guess, maybe. That's kind of crazy. What? You're alive? Hi.
Oh, that's right.
Whoa.
You were a cargo last time.
I was cargo.
Well, no.
Precious cargo.
Yeah.
Either way, super glad to see that you're alive and back with us. It makes it a lot easier for, where if you want to rest, we don't have to put you somewhere. You just go find a place and put yourself there, which is much easier on all of us in the crew. So, yay.
Yay.
Is the ship ready to sail off to another destination?
We can make it work. Yeah, not just we can make it work.
What would make that
We
work?
got you back, right?
Or
We can take another day, be done with that, or we can try and fix it on the road,
we can do
Let's
that.
do that.
All right.
Yeah.
Gotta get out.
Do we need any supplies or anything? We okay?
Well, that's true. We're heading to Eos.
That okay. Okay. So here's my question. So, we're going to Eos. That's quite a ways away.
Time-wise?
About, I say, 11 or so days. It can be shorter, but that would mean going back over the Hellcatch, which is a lot more dangerous, if you recall. Look at the...
Chet, you've got the map.
I got it!
If we wanted to try on the way to find the Gorgine,
It's in the middle. Hey, shit.
It's a lot in Xandis, like it's...
I'll find it first.
Nope. Gloom jungles.
Oh, yeah,
that right?
no, that's on the way.
I say we take our chances and go through.
Yeah.
Cut down on time.
We're doing it.
We're pretty much good to go wherever. We can try and do the rest of the repairs on the way and cross our fingers.
How about what if we threw our Chetney at you? Our old person.
Are you good at sail repairs? You have a lot of time on the ship?
Does it involve wood?
Parts of it do.
I love working with wood.
Well then, welcome aboard the Silver Sun once again, Mr. Chetney Woodworker.
Pockery, C-Pop Industries. It's a growing business. I'll be here. I'll get us in time. Half the time needed. We'll be ready by sunrise.
All right.
compromise. Take the faster route, but we prepare for a day to make sure that we're best prepared.
Yeah, you, with your help on top of the rest of the deckhands, by the time you finish your shopping by the morning and the rest of you have whatever the supplies you need before to go, the sails are pretty much repaired. They're not polished, they're not perfect, but you can always handle that down the road if need be. But these are definitely...
I work so fast, I'm covered in like a blizzard of wood chips and shrapnel, but fresh nicks all over my body because it had to get done.
Good job, Chetney.
You cut yourself a lot.
I become one with the wood in the moment. It's like a dance.
All right, we got our business done?
Yeah, go. Let's go.
Fantastic. All right, that being the case, welcome on board your skyship, I suppose. I am your humble Captain Xandis once again. Happy to be working and seeing your faces. Appreciate what you've done in the past to keep us from spiraling out of the sky and exploding in a fiery wreck. So continue to do that, please. If you have any problems, any questions, any concerns, tell somebody else. I don't care. They'll tell me. If it's important, I'll come talk to you. Otherwise, hope it's comfortable. Hope you like the food. Hope you like the view. And I guess let's shove off for not entirely comfortable skies, huh? The Silver Sun unmoors from the airy spire skyport and begins to shift and head towards the south-southwestern direction, the familiar view of the jungles below as you begin to push outward in the direction of escape from the Odiran wilds towards the dust-covered, danger-laden realm of the Hellcatch Valley. So, now, we are on the journey. The third day begins to come around, and at this point, the verdant green carpet is now passing below. The journey, as clean as it has been, begins to shift as an unexpected, almost unseen cloud of dust begins to fill the sky, and Xandis begins to yell out loudly across the way, Well, you chose this route, and I guess it's already starting to get angry. So hold on tight. We're going to go ahead and push through this storm. Big dust, big wind, you know the drill. Please stay on this time.
Oh, shit.
God.
We should probably
Strap ourselves in.
ourselves.
Yeah, hold on tighter than we did in the last time.
Okay.
Very
yeah.
tight.
So, in the
Tethering,
moment, what
tethering.
precautions are you taking?
I have 50 feet of rope. I'm going to cut it into 10-foot sections. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Who wants rope?
What for?
I'm going to fucking figure it out. Here, I'll toss it out. I tie one little corner of it to my leather harness, and I find the railing, and I tie it off.
All right, I'll make a little.
Yeah, same.
That's a good
I'll
idea.
use my
Tying down.
grappling line to tie myself to something.
I'm going to use
tie
my
that right in.
own 50-foot rope to tether to the mast so I can move and about the ship still.
I take
that-
a little bit of my red ribbon and I tie Pate to it, and I throw him into the air and I fly him like a kite.
He just goes, no, this is crazy. Oh, no. He's like coughing dust out of the skull mouth.
Oh, God.
All right. You hold on, and as the wind gusts come, heavy hits, Xandis has their goggles over it. They're just like, it's all right. I got a good feeling about this one. It's going to go great. They quickly hit the side and kind of spin the wheel as one big gust slams into the side to try and counteract it. As it does, the heavy impact hits, and you lose your grip and just kind of like vault into the air, about to be flung from the ship before the rope cracks at your back, and then you're now just kind of like hanging off the side, kind of whack, whack, whack onto the side of the ship. You've all been vaulted off the edge and are just now being like yo-yo tossed into the side of the ship.
God.
What do we do? I'll go ahead and feather fall on all of them to at least make it. Maybe they're like a helium balloon.
The rest of them go from like slamming into the side to just kind of like flinging behind, and you just go.
Yeah. I start to cast gust immediately to try to just like stay on a steady path behind the rope.
The feather fall is making sure that the tension isn't being held against the rope, which is good. But you do, unfortunately, slow down, so that adds a day of travel. The storm does eventually pass. It lasts for a number of hours, and at times it's worse than others, but Xandis had to do some corrective steering along the way and kind of blew off course a bit and is now having to get back on track. So roughly a day was lost in the journey, unfortunately. But beyond that, thanks to your ingenuity, you didn't lose anybody overboard again.
Good job, Chet.
No problem.
The fourth day seems to go by without serious issue. No storms as the night comes around. And you're resting throughout the deck of the ship. Those of you who are on the surface notice a strange reddish glow that seems to emanate from the sky. Glancing in that space, you see the normally dark, ruddy shape of Ruidus is in mid-flare.
Imogen?
What are you dreaming of?
Oh. I'm dreaming of Laudna and I in a hut outside of one of the towns that we stayed outside of for a couple of weeks. I'm dreaming that we're baking.
As you are in the process of kind of stoking the flames of this oven within a hut, and as you know, to cook something within a hut, which is generally made of like flammable thatch, there is a very enclosed, smaller, wood-burning furnace type of a thing there. And as you kind of reach in and push for it, the heat gets really intense, and you kind of pull back as the heat on your face is extreme. And as you kind of pull back, the whole room, all the candlelight went from orange to a deep, deep red.
I'll look for Laudna.
And you look around, and Laudna's not in the room, but the door's open. And outside of the hut, you just see the red cloud.
You have control. I'm gonna step outside the hut.
Okay. You step outside the hut, and there the storm is around you. You can hear the impact of it, the hut itself creaking and elements of it being pulled away from the sheer intensity of the wind. You can just barely see the shadow of a shape walking in the storm away from the hut and away from you.
The chase after that.
And you run and you see the kind of darkened, clothed shape of what looks like Laudna, the dark hair kind of moving into the wind, just still walking away from you.
No. Laudna?
No response, just keeps walking.
I'm gonna will myself to move faster.
Okay. You will yourself move faster, and as you're running, your feet begin to just kind of scrape and almost leave the ground, like you're occasionally touching with the tips as you kind of glide in a forward motion to where within just a brief moment you are right at the back of this figure.
Laudna?
You touch it, and it spins around, and what was the black outfit of Laudna turns around instead is a darkened, ruffled cloak. And you see what you thought was Laudna's hair blowing was tattered shreds of some sort of almost looks like a funeral shroud or some sort of a deep midnight cloak. And as it spins around, you see this scraggly hair in a lavender-like color. And that memory that unlocked, you immediately recognize this to be the face of your mother. As she looks back to you and goes, "You need to run." While that's happening, Chetney, I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh no.
6.
Oh no!
6.
So, you've concentrated on this at moments in the past, and you've thought about it. You know, the curse that you hold, for those who call it a curse, it is tethered to the history of Katha, and the transformations have always been pulled by that massive white silver glow in the sky. Rudis didn't seem to have much of an impact. But as you've been focusing and been present and more conscious of these flares, there's always just like a little itch in your belly. But this time the itch gets stronger and stronger until you can't help but try and scratch for it. And your fingers go for it, and you scratch for the itch, and you scratch, and you scratch, and you pull, and you tear, and you tear. And those of you who are on the surface, which right now is Fern and Orem, you especially with your perception, see Chetney begin to double over and kind of clutch his stomach.
Chet?
You have to be free. You have to scratch this itch. You have to scratch. There's no way. It has to be set free. It has to be free. It has to be free. The two of you watch as, from behind, he just tears the flesh away from his torso. And as you watch the skin and hair of the gnomish form flop away like a discarded costume,
gross.
the woven body of Chetney emerges in an angry, aggressive howl before he spins around, the eyes now emanating a dull red glow. Who do you go after first, Chetney?
Oh, shit. Go after Orem.
All right. Claws.
The ship!
I'm going to use my riposte battle maneuver and slash back at him under the neck.
So as the pain strikes in, the claw marks cross your cheek and cross your shoulder. You manage to deflect one of the strikes with your shield and then come in and strike underneath. And as you cut, it's like you're expecting flesh, but you get leather. Like the hide is stronger than you expected. As you withdraw the blade, there is blood, but not as much as you expected for such a precise strike.
And I'll, after getting knocked back and slashing under the chin, I'll take my blade and then just shove it down through his foot into the deck of the ship and hold the shield up in front of his fucking jaws.
That's awesome.
So I'm down here, put the shield up, I've just stabbed. I'm gonna then yank it out and bring it and slash into the side of his leg. Would you allow me to, if I make this a pushing attack, to be in the same space? No, he has to be larger.
Yeah, I'm regular,
medium
So
size.
since I'm smaller, can I get under him and use pushing attack to shove him towards center of ship?
Sure.
And that's the end of my turn. Finally,
It slips between your legs and then hits you the shield in the back, and you just kind of stumble forward into the center of the ship. All right, as we get to Fern's turn, you hear Xandis go, what?
We'll take care of it, it's fine.
Okay. What you got, Fern?
I am going to take my staff and slam it on the ground, touch the top of it, and point it at Chet, and I'm going to cast Daylight. I'm going to put my hand out and I'm going to say, hey, big guy, the moon's getting real low. With my staff out.
So, as soon as the bright light hits and you're holding the daylight spell, you see him kind of recoil and wince and almost like claws at the woven face, leaving these trails of light blood where he's almost clawing at his own eyes. And there's a brief moment where you see the face go a little slack and the breathing go from a growl to a and you see this is having an effect, but then the eyes go back to red and the growl kicks in. Is that your turn?
That's my turn. I'm gonna just keep shining it on.
All right, Chetney.
Well, I got the high beam on my face, so I'm gonna go towards that stimuli.
All right, so after Fern. So with that, you manage to put the light out in front, and Chetney's claws are going wide and barely missing you, and then one kind of gets you in the middle of the stomach and chest as you kind of push away, and you can feel the wound beginning to bleed beneath. Oh, that was a tough hit. Orm, you're up.
Okay, Orm starts sprinting low in an arc around Chetney to Fern and grabs her, she puts the shield around her big goat thigh and just sort of spins her out of the way, and I do bait and switch and get her behind me in front between the two, and I will just take 2 slashies and I just hold in place, shield up. Chet, we're gonna hit you until you heal. Knock it off.
All right.
Can you restrain, sleep, anything?
Yes, okay. Hold person.
As the tendrils of your nature-based magic begin to extend from your consciousness and try and weave their way into the feral brain of Chetney, while they find purchase, there is only animal instinct within, and the magic is dispelled before it can reach the inside of his mind. However, you do have the daylight still up, which means make another standard wisdom saving throw, just one roll.
Couldn't get a bigger one.
15, 16. 16.
16. With that, you manage to shake free this weird sensation. You were just overtaken with the need to scratch yourself, and the itch now fitters away.
Oh.
Woo!
There's one problem.
What?
I'm under a certain number of hit points.
Oh no.
So make another wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw 4. I'm pretty sure that doesn't beat the DC.
It does not.
Yeah.
So who are you going after?
I will go after the guy that ran like a jackrabbit across the ship.
There's a brief moment where you see the beast fades from the eyes, and while the red is gone, the growl is still present.
Yeah, the wisdom saving throw is a DC of 8. I didn't get it.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
The first two strikes that come through, you're just like
No, just the dice were double, not
deflecting with the shield, pairing with the blade, no issue, and the ferocity just overwhelms you at a point. Your defense ends up breaking back before one claw just comes down and strikes you right across the side of the forehead and along the chin. And you now have that heavy streak of warmth you could feel on the side of your face.
You're not gonna do this, Chet. Come on. I want to use my shield to do a tripping attack and knock him the fuck down.
Okay.
So you're down on the ground, and then I take my blade and I spin it so the hilt's down and I go crack on your forehead. Ooh. I don't want to do lethal damage. I want to try to knock him out with this hit. Non-lethal going with the shield, and I'm going to then just move around his body so that now Fern is there, he's on the ground in front of me, and I'm right there ready for whatever comes next.
You got it.
Flanking him.
Fern, you're up.
Flanking him.
As you're preparing this, because you are still have the daylight spell up, go ahead and make another wisdom save. What did you get?
8.
So you do shake it free. You finally like the beast aggression that took over and carried through from whatever this odd influence was comes through. But you still have your turn. What are you doing?
Take him down.
I'm gonna cast Entangle. Try to keep it on
Okay.
the ground.
All
just
right.
in case. I'm doing this just in casesies.
Out of the wood planks that make up the deck, watch as these tethering vines and long stretches of gnarled roots just kind of begin to grow out and wrap around, and you just, like, shaking out of it, like, instinctually pull back and tear out of them.
The fuck?
But it's the first words you heard out of him.
Okay, I don't hit hard with my shield. I just kind of go boonk on his head. Boonk.
I look down. I'm all covered in fucking gashes. So is Orm. Fern looks all frazzled. Lovely. Oh no.
As you glance up, the flare diminishes, and there's just the dull, ruddy moon in the sky.
Oops. I did it again. I'll drop the hyper transformation.
You good?
I'm so sorry. That's never happened before.
What? That did that. So.
I saw the flare, and then I was overcome by this sensation, this urge to itch, and then I'm here with you.
Well, you know, we learned a lot. Think we need to pay attention to the cycles of the moons?
It only makes sense for, you know.
But I don't understand. It's never been the red one before. It's always been Gatha. It's so less frequent. This is a different game.
Yeah, well, maybe we have a buddy system for you at night.
I'm sorry. Is it the second time? Wait. And I reach out and I grab him. I start turning him. Did I bite you?
No.
You?
Slashed me up a bit.
I wish. Fine. I meant to turn me into, because I feel like it'd be super fun to also be a werewolf.
Mental note.
You
All right.
did slash my stomach, and I'm just bleeding everywhere. 'cause of what you just did.
Someone should take care of you. Yeah, I should tend to those wounds.
I don't know if you know how.
But Orm,
Just
how about
in
you?
Orm's already got self-made clover and moss, like growing on the side of his head. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm gonna rub some dirt on it and shake it off.
I'm sorry about this. Look, if we could
It's
just
okay. We've all got stuff, you know. We've all got weird stuff, and that's just your thing.
wait. Where's Imogen?
It's middle of the night. She's probably asleep.
Should we check on her?
Olly.
Oh, motherfuck.
Meanwhile,
As you see into the face of your mother saying this, she steps back and the wind just whips her away, but almost like she was just strips of cloth. Like as soon as the gust hits, it's like the cloak was all that was there, and you watch it vanish into the storm.
What do you want?
No response.
Odahan? Are you here?
Nobody seems to be present. Just the sound of wind. Strong, dangerous wind.
I'm gonna reach out my hand and I'm gonna lightning strike the hut next to me and just destroy it if I can.
As you reach out your arm, all the weird designs on your body, the extended kind of tendrils of energy that seem to slowly move across your body, completely fill your arm, and the bolt strikes outward as it arcs across the outside of the hut. You watch it begin to burn and darken, and as it immediately burns up, the wind carries it away like the cloak but a moment before, and you watch as the flames and thatch just dissipate into the storm.
I'm gonna kick up and fly up into the air.
Okay. You head up and watch as the dust around you begins to subside slightly, further and further, that glaring moon above you. And you can see the darkness of the stars beginning to come closer and closer. A few moments later, the bright, shining light of the flare dulls, and in that moment, your ascension slows, and then stops, and you begin to fall. Faster and faster. The dust storm begins to pick up again. Faster and faster you plummet, your hair pulling around your face. You begin to spin uncontrollably as the wind begins to kick you around. You fall and fall and fall. You spin and see the ground come towards you. You wake up.
I'm gonna cast Sending on my mom.
Okay.
Are you there?
Is that all you say?
Yeah.
Imogen? And that's where it ends tonight's episode.